Marco,
You travel.
Yes.
it's a beautiful day on the edge of Bannerton, the town that raised you. You are out babysitting, essentially. You're the girl with whom you were raised with. She calls you brother. And she's sitting on the hill, overlooking the path that you're standing on the edge of. And you're waiting for a friend of yours to arrive with something you've been looking forward to. Unblindfold and describe your character.
What's her name?
Your sister?
Judy? Judy?
Your sister?
Yeah.
Her name is Nasria. You can unblindfold and see her if you want.
I grew up in a guild gather inn. No one knows where I came from. I personally don't know where I came from, but the tavern is what raised me. I've been stuck in the tavern my whole entire life, but unfortunately, that's not where I belong. It's not where I call home. I've always had a passion for the seas. If I look around, what do I see to the right and left in the path?
When you look to the left, you see this long, winding dirt path that stretches in between the forest, leading out into the unknown, further inland than you've ever been. As you're turning your head in the middle, you see, of course, this ridge where your sister likes to sit, with her book in her lap, her legs kicking, flipping through the pages of a book she's already read 100 times. And as your gaze falls right, you see the path that becomes a little more well-trodden. It curves into Bannerton, and you see a familiar face walking towards you.
My father?
Not your father. A merchant from one of the ships that's come to town.
Alphonse, hey, how's it going?
You all right, lad?
Yes, just out in the wild, outside of the tavern.
Look. You do a good job keeping those ears open in the tavern, and normally I wouldn't be doing this on account of your father, but, oh, what the hell. And from underneath the cloak that he's wearing, he brandishes a worn and torn weathered cutlass, and he offers you the hilt.
How much you selling this one for?
Just take it, boy, before I change my mind.
Whew, what a sweet, sweet piece.
I wouldn't be doing this except, weapon production has been up in Needle Point, and we got ourselves some fine new blades, so you're getting the hand-me-downs.
I'll swing around a few times and look at it. Do I notice anything from the hilt to the blade?
Some scratches, some what looks like blood stain towards the bottom of the hilt. Hard to get off. Chips in the silver of the blade, and just a weapon that tells a story. As you wave it around, you notice that Alphonse takes a step back.
Oof, this feels smooth, Alphonse. I mean, it's not the prettiest. I see there's a victim there. Was it yours?
Actually, it was my daughter's.
Your daughter's Your daughter's sword or your daughter's blood?
Could be both, but I was saying it was her sword.
Well, thank you, Alphonse. I'll kind of sheath that around my belt. What happened to your daughter?
She's back on the ship, wondering where I just snuck off to.
Oh, okay. Well, that's perfect. Well, thank you. Where are you heading to now?
Hey. You hear your sister's voice from behind you. While you were distracted, she came down the hill. Hey,
Yes.
you have a sword now?
Yes, but you cannot tell Dad.
You can't have a sword. You don't know how to use a sword.
I know how to use a sword.
You've never used a sword.
I've used a knife.
That's not a sword.
I've used a dagger.
I won't tell Dad if you let me hold it.
Nazir, I can't let you hold a sword. What if you cut yourself?
I probably have held way more swords than you.
How many swords have you held?
I've held more knives than you, definitely.
Well, it's only because you're in the kitchen.
A couple of kids playing with blades because of me? Yeah, I'm going back to town.
Well, you have a good one, Alphonse.
Bye, Alphonse.
Fine, Nazir. But just a couple swings and then you give it back.
I promise, I promise, I promise.
And do not cut yourself.
You see, just putting the blades in her hands, she makes her upper half dip almost to the ground as she struggles to lift it. She, both of her hands, but she picks it up and she starts waving it high.
Ooh. All right. I think that's enough. It's
Just
sweet.
like in the stories. She starts
Yes.
swishing it around. There's not really a safe place for you to go in and grab it.
Well, that's it, Nazir. How about you put it on the ground?
On the ground, you don't want your new sword getting dirty. Whoosh, whoosh. Hey, who's that?
Ooh. I quickly run over and grab the sword from her.
Distracted by the beautiful woman who's coming up the trail, she relinquishes control of the cutlass.
Good afternoon. The Guild Gather Inn is just over there, and you can stop by for a few drinks or two.
Thank you, lad. And then I think I walk straight past him, not even batting an eye, don't even look at him, and head in the direction that he said the inn was in, or the tavern.
Oh. She's
Nazir,
going to
that's a
our inn?
stranger. Let's follow her.
She shrugs. She starts following you.
We'll keep our distance. You know, we won't be creeps.
Blindfold. Cereal. With two little minions trotting, a distance, keeping their distance from you as they follow. I mean, they're not doing a very good job. It's difficult to trail someone who hunts and trails other things for a living, so you caught on to them, following you back to the Guild Gather Inn, and you pushed open the wooden doors to find yourself in the cozy little tavern that stands on the edge of the buildings that sparsely linger off towards the coast and then form the stone coastal port that acts as the trade route through these parts. Unblindfold.
We can see nothing, Carson.
Yes.
There we go.
There's a burly man carrying a keg over his shoulder, walking from table to table and pouring directly from the keg into people's mugs.
I'm gonna walk over to a table in the far corner. Sit down.
As Tedman goes to fill the drinks of these two ladies sitting by the door, he looks up and sees two familiar little scoundrels in the doorway. And he comes lumbering around. Oi! Where have you
Yes,
two
boss.
been?
We've been just outside, Father.
Right, well, we've got customers. Why don't you make sure that doll over there's got a drink? Gestures
What?
to the woman who just sat down.
Yes, Father.
Nasria goes to follow you, but Tedman stops her, and the two begin to have a hushed conversation by the door.
Ah, shit, I'm in trouble. Good evening, lady. Would you like a drink?
How much does it cost?
Not too cheap, not too expensive.
I reach into my pockets and feel around to feel for my money bag and make a oh shit face as I realize that I spent the last of my coin on the voyage that took me from the port town of Bleak Book to the edge of where the coast of Bannerton, which I realize now that I have no money. Sorry, kid. I don't got anything on me. I spent my last coin.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Do
Would
you happen
would
to
like
have
magic water?
a buyer of unique creature materials anywhere close by?
Yes, of course. I'll be right back. Do I know anyone of this sort in the tavern?
It is not rare. It's not a rare instance that people in the Harborlands don't always pay with gold. Sometimes barter is more fruitful. The Guildgather Inn has a section, a curtained section off in the side over here, where people go to make deals, whether that be between gold and goods or for more lust-driven transactions. And from your experience, that would be the place to look. And you do see some feet under the curtain, so you know that someone is here.
Would the Guildgather Inn accept such items, or would they just let patrons negotiate, collect some gold?
The Guildgather Inn accepts all items if they have value.
I say you order your meal, and we'll discuss payment after.
Sure, kid. What do you got to eat?
Well, I can offer you the meal of the day.
And what would that be?
What would that be?
Why?
I'll offer you a hearty soup.
Sure. Do you have any dwarvish ale by any chance?
Do we?
You do.
Yes, we do. The finest in town.
I'll get 1 pint of that if you don't mind as well.
1 pint coming. Perfect. And will that be it, sir? man.
That's it, kid.
I'll be right back. That went well. Where would the Barbie? I'll scramble to find a pint of dwarvish beer using my best knowledge of the barrels here. Here you go, ma'am. 1 pint of ale. Enjoy.
The best ale I ever had was from these rare bees that live up into the mountains near Dwarfhold. They were a special type of bee that lived and had grown to be able to survive the extreme cold, and the people there made the most excellent ale. As I sip the ale, is this ale of quality at all, or?
Of the highest quality in town.
I was asking.
Of the highest quality in town, actually.
Yeah, okay, but comparatively out of town.
I would say this is probably the best ale you've ever drank. The Harborlands tends to have the best resources and all sorts of things come through here. The best of the best.
I take a sip and have a surprised look on my face. Now that's some good ale.
I like to speak in a hushed tone. Father, do we have any soup today?
Do we have any soup?
Yes, soup.
We got the slog soup.
That'll be perfect. She'll take some soup.
What's this? What's this Nasria's telling me about you meeting Alphonse out on the path?
Well, I wasn't meeting him per se. We met each other.
Alphonse's ship was supposed to leave this morning. What was he doing out in the woods with you?
He was just passing by. He didn't tell me about his ship.
Make a deception roll.
I got 13.
13. Your father scrunches his big, bushy eyebrows and he reaches at the length of his ginormous body over the bar and reaches underneath and he scoops up. You watch as he does what he always does. He picks up a bowl and then drops it into this big tub of soup and uses that to scoop it up. And then he shakes the bowl and gets a stain all over his apron and brings the dry bowl and plops it right in front of the guest. And he goes back to his version of a hushed tone, but Tyrael can hear him loud as day. He's not a very subtle man. I don't like when you lie to me, boy. And I don't like when you drag her into your foolishness.
I start eating the
anything,
soup.
I swear. I did drag her into anything. I mean, he just came to me. We were by the rocks.
How is the taste of this soup?
The soup, it tastes like good soup that has been drizzled in, like the raw meat used to make it. It tastes pretty bloody.
Not bad soup either.
You're putting ideas in her head.
I'm sorry, Father. It won't happen again.
You're right, it won't happen again because you're gonna be here doing the only thing you're good for.
Which is singing.
Which is making sure the tables are clean. And that means all of them. And he gestures over to the swinging curtains in the corner.
Father, no, not those. I'll do the bath.
I finish my ale and slam it against the table and look over at the kid with the like or expression.
Whatever, just get yourself to work and I don't care what you do.
I'll like glance over the table. Is her bowl empty?
Yeah, I'd say she finished the soup.
I'll take this from you. Is the ale empty?
Yeah, ale's completely empty.
Perfect.
Bring another pint if you would, kid.
I'll grab another pint from the back.
Edmund already has it ready for you. With one hand, he prepared this ale and he's passing it off to you. With the other hand, he's rigorously scrubbing down the surface of the counter with a rag.
Doesn't look too happy. Here you go, ma'am. Good evening, gentlemen. Everything good over here?
Ho, ho, ho. Ah, Lion's Mane. So good to see you again. I thought they sank your ship. Sank my ship. My ship has never sank. It wasn't made of that cheapest wooden high mast. Oh, you think you're funny now, Lion's Mane. I think I made a better investment. Whitlock the Windswept, who hasn't said a word this whole time, slowly turns and stares at you with his bloodshot eyes.
Good evening, sir. Everything good here?
Don't mind Whitlock. He hasn't spoken a word since his foot was eaten by a jellywogger.
Well that's unfortunate.
I don't believe we've met, boy. The name's Dierko Domain.
Dorka Domain. Well, I'm the performer of the tavern. If you need an ale,
performer.
yes, a performer. My dad isn't the biggest fan, but the patrons love me.
Ah. That's to be debated, Lion's Mane says as he sips his drink. You know him, he's an old grump. He's in here all the time.
Lion's Mane, come on, stop lying. You're not fooling anyone.
That's right, Lion's Mane, you're not fooling anyone. You know, I like you performer types. Dierko points at you and he has a big grin with his shaggy gray beard. He's like, I like you performer types. I had 2 on my ship just last year. Unfortunately, they both fell overboard, but I'm looking for another.
You're looking for another performer on your ship? So this is a dream come true.
Well, I actually don't have a ship anymore, as Mellerby here said. I lost mine to the bottom of the sea. He lost it. What kind of captain?
Oh, well, that's what? Are you getting a new ship?
Ships are, fairly expensive, but I'd like to get one soon.
Well, if you do, and the position is still open, you know where to find me.
Likewise, and if you, I'm sure plenty of word comes around these parts. That's why the Sunrise Rebel has never set foot in here. Too many eager ears, that's my theory, but if you hear anything about a ship that needs a captain, look for someone else. What kind of captain doesn't go down with his ship? A captain who wants to survive, I think that's far more important, don't you, boy?
Yes, of course. I mean, that seems a reasonable choice.
Though I suppose you would survive going down with your ship, wouldn't you? You're, Triton.
Ah, yes. Well, I haven't gone to the sea much. I like to think so.
Haven't gone to the sea much, then you're not living, boy.
I know that's what I've been saying. Well, hopefully you shall take me on many one adventures.
We'll see, kid. And as he says that, you see his eyes sort of glance over to your father.
I don't worry about him. He may seem tough, but he has a soft side. I'm sure he won't mind.
Why don't you bring us another round of drinks when you get the chance?
For you two as well?
Not for me. I'd like to sleep on my ship tonight, not on this table. Whitlock the Windswept looks at you and he... That means yes.
All right, perfect. One round coming up. Like to eavesdrop on the conversation before saying anything.
As you approach, these two are smiling at each other, regaling each other with quiet conversation, and Ayabazi catches your eye and she says, "Oh, hello.
Yeah.
Is my father back at the ship now?" This is Alphonse's daughter.
Well, yes, you should be. And I'd like to say hushed. Thank you for the gift. And I'll brandish it like through my jacket.
Oh no, I thought he was going to give you one of the new ones.
He was?
I thought we tossed that thing overboard.
I mean, I'll take one of the new ones. I'll take both.
Are you kidding me? My father would kill me if I take one of the new weapons from Needlepoint.
All right then.
Unless you have something to offer.
About this. You don't say anything to my father, and I'll give you a tavern, a nail in the house.
Give me a what?
An ale?
Oh, I don't like ale.
What would you like? Anything. On the menu. On the house.
Can I have that musical instrument you're always playing?
Oh, the harp? No, what? That's my 197.
The woman on the other side of the table, who has a little cat in her hand, and she's petting. She turns and she crosses her legs and she says, "Sounds like we don't have a deal then."
All right, fine. I want your sword anyways.
The stronger woman, larger woman with the cat sort of stares daggers at you, but Ayabazi, she gives you sort of an empathetic look.
Well, can I offer you anything to drink, to eat?
We
No,
were just
on the
in the
house?
middle of a conversation, actually. If you'd let us get back to that, that would be great.
Oh wow. Well, excuse me.
While all this is going down, I drank my second ale and put the cup on the counter. This creature, as I sort of sit with like one leg up and the other leg like dangled down on this like ridge, because I'm assuming this is probably a knee-high type pool or something like that.
Yeah, essentially.
And I look over at the creature and say, "Well, hello there. What would you be?" Drunkenly. I've had 2 large ales at this point. I think my head's a little more fuzzy.
The seemingly sleeping creature lifts its head off of its own shoulder and looks at you with bright blue eyes. Hello. You do not know what I am. I am a mermaid.
What would a mermaid be doing here in this tavern?
She stirs, like, slinks a little bit closer with her arms still propped on the side. I guess I like the company of the land people. It's safer here, too.
And are there more of your kind?
Oh, sure.
I think part of Tyrael's eye kind of sparkles in a dangerous way. I don't know if the mermaid would necessarily catch on. But, I think anybody that is extremely observant would see it. And what would your name be?
Name?
What do people call you?
The best thing I have been called Slender.
Well, Slender, it is nice to meet you. As I reach out a hand and attempt to shake her hand.
Sorry, not allowed to touch unless you pay.
Sorry, darling. I don't got any cash on me right now.
Another time, perhaps, and she slinks back.
I
Rests
get
her
up.
head back in her arms.
I get up and walk over to the big man behind the bar.
Aye, is the ale to your liking?
It was quite magnificent.
It's imported from Solaria.
Well, it was quite honestly probably one of the best ales I've ever had. And that is saying a lot. I have tried quite a few.
I get that a lot. There's a brewery up in Drakascoma. Supposedly does it the best of the best.
Now, about payment. I do not have any cash on me. And have no way of easily paying. Is there any task that you might like me to do that I can pay off my meal and my drink? I could
You
perhaps...
see his eyes drift over across the room to the boy. You're telling me he served you and you didn't even pay?
He said that we'd figure out payment afterwards.
All right. Well, you could clean tables.
That is perfectly fine with me.
I don't know what he intended you to do to pay, but that's about all I got. He offers you a rag.
I grab the rag and start walking around to the different tables to clean them. I'll start on the side of
Good evening, gentlemen. Could I get you anything?
Hmm. Who might you be, Captain? The captain looks at you.
Me? Well, I'm the local performer of the tavern.
A
I'm quite a
performer?
celebrity.
So you're offering me a song?
And if that's what you wish, for a price.
Hmm. Do I get to request what the song will be about?
Hmm. Of course, for a better price.
10 gold.
I'll take it.
10 gold, and you serenade me with the story of the brave Captain Catalin and how she fell in love with her first mate. And she reaches across the table, and this gentleman reaches across, and their hands intertwine.
You hear a slight barfing sound from across the table from where I'm cleaning.
What? Why? Why? Of course, of course. I'll prepare my harp. Then I'll start singing a nice tune. There once was a dainty captain that was in love with her first mate.
I'm sorry, could you speak up, please?
There once was a captain that
A
was
little
in
bit
love
louder,
with.
please.
I'm sorry, ma'am. I wouldn't want to bother your patron.
15 gold.
15 gold. Does she hand it out to me?
No.
Well, I'll grab that right from you.
First the song.
Well, fine. There once was a captain that fell in love with her first mate.
Heads start turning in the tavern.
Her first mate was one young fellow, and she was rather pretty. They fell in love and were happy ever after. And I'll do a final swing on my harp.
As you do that final, make a performance roll.
I get a 7.
As you make the final little flourish on your harp, the room is completely silent. You hear a cough. Hey, where are those drinks you said you were bringing us?
Yes, yes, they're coming. I'll try and avoid his gaze as best as I can and just stand for the captain. So that'll be 15 gold.
Um, right. Do me a favor and could you pass the song on to maybe like a different. She passes you some gold. Maybe like a different singer. If the song is going to be popular now, as I imagine it will be. Our love, it just blossoms. Nasria's watching. Her eyes are just over the surface of the table, and she's like, she comes over and she kicks your boot. Why did you ruin
Ow!
that romantic moment with your ugly voice?
What do you mean ugly? She loved it. Look how much she paid me. Now frantish the gold in my hands.
Glad to see you're getting paid, and yet you're giving out free meals.
Free meal? What? Isn't that what you're supposed to do, father?
The elf has no money.
He has no money. Look at him. Look at him. I'm sure he has other things than money.
If she has other things than money, why didn't you procure that before you gave her the slog soup?
I, uh, I, Father, you know I'm no good with customers.
If you're no good with customers, why do I keep you here?
Because I clean tables really well.
He looks over at Tyrael, who's been going table to table this entire time. You've been to 3 tables since you've been in here, and that elf has given them a better scrub than they've gotten in a month.
I'm sorry, Father. It won't happen again.
That's what you keep telling me. Am I supposed to keep believing it?
Well, yes, Father. It's true this time.
As this is happening, I duck around the corner and grab 3 ales to bring to the gentleman.
Let me get that for you.
I whisk over here and then silently put them down. But like with enough of a notice that they notice that it's there.
Ah, thank you. Here, for your trouble.
I go ahead and pocket that.
Mallerby pushes the ale. I said I didn't want any ale. Diarco says, "Oh, shut up, Mallerby, and drink it." And he says, "All right."
I walk back over to these two, and then all this is going. And what was it that you two wanted again to drink?
Oh, we're not thirsty. We're just sort of catching up. It's been a while. Longtime friends.
Have a wonderful time.
Thank you. Wow, the service around here is getting a lot better. What were you saying, Marco?
Do you want me to go do the other tables, Father?
Don't bother.
Oh, well, all right.
He gives you this disappointed look and he just starts walking away. Nasria watches him go. She looks at you very sad.
I'm gonna stand here and kind of like I'll play a tune.
Can I get you something?
Sir?
Or ma'am, prefer.
It is, ma'am.
Well, what can I get for you?
I don't know. I can't decide.
Well, may I suggest to the ale here? It is quite exquisite.
Huh? It's not too strong, is it?
No, not at all.
Okay, I'll have some ale.
The lady over there wants 1 ale.
He looks past you. A grung?
That's what she said.
Oh. You must be working some kind of magic there. That woman, that little grung woman's been in here about every day for weeks, rattling off about some new institution in Needlepoint, but I've never seen her order a drink. He goes to pour one.
And what institution might that be?
I don't know. You think I have time to keep track of all that? He slides it to you.
I grab it up into my hand. Let's get away. Here you go, ma'am. And I heard that you were talking about a institution. As I like go over to one of the chairs and pull it out, like motion if I may sit down.
She nods as she picks up the ale. The tankard is ridiculously big for her to hold, but she manages to take a little sip that clearly rocks her world, so she sets it down. You've traveled far, haven't you? I can see it.
Would I think it's fair to say that I have traveled quite a bit.
Well, if you're not from around here, I suppose there's no danger in telling you. But the rebels are cracking down. They don't want us talking about the college anymore. Have you heard of it?
I've heard rumors that someone at Needlepoint was creating a school of mystic arts per se, but nothing more than rumors.
Do I hear this conversation?
Make a perception roll.
10.
I would say you've made a habit out of listening to people's conversations. You've made almost a career out of it here. And though you probably didn't hear much from this distance, you would have heard the term the College of the Mystic Arts, and it would have made your ears perk up. As you descend the little spot where you were performing your song, Nazria would have stepped up to you as she doesn't seem to notice that you're charging off, and she says, I think I'm going to talk to Father for you. I think he's being really cruel as of late.
Oh, yes, Nazra. Yes.
Okay.
I'll just kind of like stand here, like.
Do I notice him coming over?
Oh, absolutely. Are you still playing the harp?
No.
I would say the abrupt stop of the music when he approaches would be enough to catch your attention.
I look over at him and kind of raise an eyebrow, but look back at the woman to see if she's going to continue with him being here.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Did I hear it right? Neil Point? The college?
Yes, you heard me right. But the Sunrise Rebels don't want us talking about this anymore. They're putting up bounties like it's no tomorrow.
Is there
Yes, may I sit down?
Yes, make yourself comfortable, boy.
Is there a place inside of the city that Sunrise Rebels have control over, like a guild building, a town hall of sorts?
Where, at Needlepoint?
Yeah, here, in this city.
Here? I think they have a ship on the port. I don't know anything about a building.
Can you continue with your story?
Well, I mean, you said you heard a rumor about someone starting a college. Let me dispel. This is not just someone. This is the Archmage of Needlepoint. He's the most powerful man in all the realm.
Is that so?
And this Archmage will train anyone?
Supposedly, he is looking for an apprentice.
In any form of magic?
Yes. That is what it means to be an Archmage, to understand all forms of magic. Many see that as reckless and dangerous, but nothing bad has come of his time in studying yet, and I heard Needlepoint is actually better off with his contribution to the economy, whatever that may be.
And how strict are the rebels on people that wish to practice magic?
Clearly they don't like it, but I'd say if you make it to needlepoint, you'll be fine. They don't. There have been many harbor masters over the last several decades, and none of them have been able to control what goes on there. Are you interested in the college?
Oh, I just interested in rumors is all. I come from far ways, as I've said, and new to this area, so I'm just trying to understand the landscape. I've traveled through most of this world, but the Harborlands are a new adventure for me.
I see. Well, then I guess I'm stuck here.
Stuck here? Why?
Well, I've been waiting for a ship to come in. I'm afraid if I get on the road, one of those bounty hunters is going to confront me. No. Passage by sea is the safest, but I just can't seem to find a captain who'd be willing to take me.
I know a captain.
Yes, but I'm sure you know plenty of captains.
I know a captain that is looking for a crew.
Well, I don't know anything about being crew on a ship. I'm just looking to be a passenger.
I'm sure I can make it work. Will you take me? Will you take me to Needle Point?
I could take you to the College of the Mystic Arts if you get me to Needlepoint.
Yes. Okay. Yes, it's a deal.
She extends her little slimy red grung hand.
How hard can you shake it?
My name is
I'll be
Glorp.
right back. I'll be right back, Glorp.
Glorp gives you kind of an unsteady look, Tyrael.
I look at her and say, would this offer extend to me if, or to assist you in getting you to Needle?
Certainly.
This has been a lovely conversation. Thank you. Can I get you anything else?
No, thank you.
Jericho. Sorry for the interruption, gentlemen. Jericho, do you have any interest in going to Needle Point?
Why? Have you found a ship for me?
If I find you a ship, will you take me to Needle Point?
You find me a ship, I'll take you halfway around El Katora.
What do you have to offer for a ship?
I'm sorry.
Well, do you plan on buying the ship?
That's the thing. I was hoping to just find one. All my gold sort of went down on my last ship.
Oh. Alright. I'll be right back.
I walk over to Captain Branford and look at them. Can I get you to anything? Ale, perhaps?
No, but when a better song singer comes by, could you send him our way?
Certainly.
Thank you.
Would either of you be happening to go to Needlepoint anytime soon?
Oh, by the divines, no. Needlepoint. That's no place for a honeymoon.
Would you know of anybody that is heading there?
I'd say your best bet is probably Spitsong.
And where might I find this Spitsong?
Oh, Spitsong's usually asleep on his ship at the port. If you head down there, you could... Boom! The doors fly open. Well, hello, guild, gather in. Tadman behind the bar says, by the divines.
What do I know about Spitsong?
You know that he comes in once every 6 months, maybe, and he makes this place his bitch. And that him and your father seem to go way back.
Do I know he's a captain?
You do?
Spitsong, welcome back.
There you are, boy. How's it been without me? Probably on the edge of falling apart.
Well, it's been boring, I'll say, Spitsong. May I offer you a table?
No, I want to see your old man. And he just walks away.
Spitsong,
Can I hear anything from these people in here?
You cannot, unfortunately.
Are their feet like both on the same side, or are they on opposite sides?
They're on opposite sides. This gentleman's feet, his boots touch the floor, and hers are just kind of like dangling, as if she's a little shorter.
I'm gonna go over and like knock on the wood part or the curtain.
Okay. You watch as both of their feet shift at the sound, and then the curtain sort of like slides open by this gentleman.
Can I get-
Greetings.
Hello, can I get you anything? Any drinks, any food, perhaps?
His expression changes as he meets your eyes. And he stares, dumbstruck. The voice on the other side of the table pipes up. I think we're fine, aren't we, Arlie? You've been touched.
Can I like tell what the look in his eye is? Like, is it like what sort of emotion is it?
Astonishment.
What do you mean by touched?
By a Sylvan. You've been touched by a Sylvan. Creatures of the woods.
Are they tree creatures that can extend their necks?
He nods.
I did recently. Would you happen to know anything about that?
It's extremely rare, certainly. How did you find yourself in their presence?
I did something they did not approve of.
Yeah.
They gave me a warning that something was going to happen to me at some point.
Yes, they're full of that, aren't they?
It was quite unclear what they meant.
Them and their prophecies. I would know all about them. The name's Ali Jade, fellow. You've probably heard of me.
Well, of course.
See, he looks at the girl across the table. Everywhere I go, my reputation precedes me, at least to those who are well traveled. She rolls her eyes.
Have you been touched before by these creatures?
Oh, I was practically raised by the Sylvans. I am a bit of an important person. That's why I'm over here and they're over there. And he gestures to everybody sitting in the common area.
Well, it has been lovely talking to you. Would you like anything to drink or eat?
I'll pass.
I close the curtain and turn away and
Back to Marco. Marco, your character is saying Spitsong, but he's not listening to you. He goes straight to the bar and slams his hands down on the surface of the bar. Edmund Kegfoot, you old bastard, still kicking. Edmund crosses his arms. Hmm.
I get
Spits-
close enough to this table and start cleaning it, like close enough that I can hear their conversation, but try to make it look inconspicuous so I'm not overly eavesdropping on them.
Spitsong looks at you, Marco, and says, "Always the cold shoulder act, isn't he?"
Yes, you know him. He's never changed.
Hi, Uncle Galton. He's not your uncle, but I might as well be. Oh, what is it? What's got you all riled up, boy?
Spitsong, I have a wild proposition for you. I'm buying a boat.
You're buying a boat? You're buying a boat? You're buying a boat?
Uh, yes, I'm buying a boat. Short term.
That's wonderful. You have like a little row? You're gonna go do some fishing?
I'll swing a bit bigger than that.
Bigger.
Enough for 5 people.
Enough for 5. So not too bigger. What are you telling me for?
I don't know. You know the seas.
Okay, you want me to give you what? Some pointers?
Yes.
You want to be a sea captain?
Yes.
What do you think, Tedmund? The boy got it in him? He looks down at Nasria. No. No, I think you're better off here, boy.
Bought it with these customers. You think I'm better off with the customers?
I think you're better off here looking after your sister. I think he should go. I think he's always been talking about it. Nasria, that's enough.
Father, this is my chance to go to the seas, where I belong.
That's where he belongs, father, not at the bar. Nasria, go upstairs.
Father, you know we're right.
She frowns and she skitters up the stairs.
Father, let me go and you can hire the elf.
Tedman puts his hands on the bar and leans in closer. If I let you go, she's going to want to come with you. And I'm not having my daughter fall overboard because you want to go on little adventures.
Father, I promise to leave discreetly and at night. She won't even know I'm gone.
You'll break her heart.
Father, you know I don't belong here.
What kind of money do you have to buy a boat?
I'll find the money.
Oh, come on, Tedmund. Give the boy a... Tedmund looks at him, and Galton, of all people, you've never seen this before, he stops in his tracks. You know what this will do to your sister.
What if I take her? Would that be so bad?
You're not taking my daughter.
Now I'll come back.
His hand goes up and he runs it through his bushy mustache. Fine.
Father, will you help me buy the boat?
No. I'm not helping you buy a boat. I left the sea life behind and I suggest you don't take it up, but clearly he's his mother's son. And Spitsong pats you on the back.
So, I bought the boat.
Yes, what is it on the port?
What is on the port?
boat you're buying? I'm assuming it's on the port.
While I stop to find the boat.
I stop cleaning and walk over and say, I can't help but overhear, but it sounds like the boy does not have the boat yet, and he was coming to you to see if you would sell him a boat.
Sell you a boat? What do you think I carry him around on my back? I've only got the one boat.
Then perhaps would you know of someone who would sell a small vessel?
I mean, your best chance would be in High Mast. That's where they're building all the boats. That's where I got mine. And it is a beauty.
No, we don't need a high mast boat. We just need a dainty boat. Something small, short term.
Short term. I can't help you there. But if you ever do want to go to High Mast, I suppose I could drop you off after I stop off at Needle Point.
You're heading
You
to
take me
Needle
to Needle
Point, sir.
Point?
Well, yeah, I'm going on business.
Well, that's a far better idea. Just take me with you. Well, actually, me and that lady over there. I'll point over to Glorp.
If you wouldn't mind, sir, I would also like to acquire transportation to Needle Point.
Whoa. 3 new mouths to feed on my ship. That's a lot of food. That's a lot more rations I have to buy. I mean, how are you gonna make this work for me?
I'm willing to barter for it.
Barter, eh? What do you have to barter, elf?
Not anything that I'm willing to show in this tavern.
Oh. Well, then we might actually be doing business together.
I'll be your onboard performer. You know me, Spit Song. I'm always good to have around.
We'll see what the lady has.
Oh, I'm not paying for the kids. Just me and the old lady over there.
Kelton looks at you. How do you feel about that, Marco?
You won't take me?
Sorry, kid. I don't even know you.
But I gave you an ale. On the house.
Of which I am now paying off.
Excuse me, ma'am. He looks at you, Tyrael.
Has my debt been paid off, or do I need to work more for it?
Your debt is paid if you get this kid out of my sight.
Okay, sure. Then I guess the kid is included as well.
Wow. Galton looks at you, Tedman. Or Galton looks at Tedman. Wow. What an inspiring family. Tedman stares daggers at him. Oh. Come on with your Uncle Galton, then. Seems like we got business to attend to.
Ooh, thank you, ma'am. Honestly,
I
this
walk
is the
over to
best
the
day of my
table
life.
and put 1 gold on the counter. Say, I don't like debts that are on.
Edmund puts his hand on the gold and nods, and he leans in, and in a low voice, he says, "Do me a favor and make sure the kid doesn't get killed. It'd break his sister's heart."
I look at him and I think most of the time I have a fairly youthful appearance, like mid-20s or so. But I think when he says that, my age shows in my face a little bit more, and I look a lot closer to 50 than I did before. And I say to him, I'll try, but no promises.
That's more than I could ask for. Safe travels.
And then I'd say the expression kind of fades and it goes back to more of the youthful wispiness that I usually have around.
Marco, what are you doing?
Jericho.
Hey. He sets down an empty ale tankard.
I found you a boat.
Wonderful. And without even thinking, he swivels out of the chair and he brandishes his sword and he uses it as a cane and it clinks against the stone. I've had enough of your insults and your skullduggery, lion's mane. You'll see that Jericho Domain is the fiercest name on the seas. I'll prove that. Let's go,
No,
boy.
Jericho, it's in high mast.
What?
The boat is in high mast.
Then I shall await its arrival with trepidation.
All right, wait by the port. I'll quickly hurry off.
I go and like sit down inside of the curtain area, waiting for Spit Song to come sit down as well.
Galton's actually waiting by the door.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Then never mind. Scratch that. Erase that from.
Lady Glorp, we found a right meal point.
Oh, so quickly.
Yes, Lady Glorp. I know the town. What can I say?
I suppose we should be off then.
Yes, right over here with this gentleman. I point over to Spitsong. Don't worry, he looks mean, but he is not.
Well, I suppose I should hold up my end of the bargain. She hops down and flick of her cane against the cobblestone as she follows you.
How much of the ale has she drank?
She never touched it after that first sip.
I think I grab it and chug like as much as I can, like in sort of that like dashed like drink type thing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
When you're trying to move and grab it, and then I put the cup back down and then walk over to the door.
And by the way, Captain, that was one of the best songs you'll hear, and you'll be lucky if you hear another.
Oh. You going to let him speak to me like that, Cranford? Cranford looks at you. And then he just sort of like meekly shrugs at Catalin and she says, Cranford, fight him on my behalf. And Cranford's just like, I don't wanna.
I'll walk away before I press the
I step out of the door.
Well, let's go then.
Goodbye, tavern.
As you step out, you hear the familiar skittering of footsteps on the stairs. Blindfold, as your sister comes down too late to see you off.